Hello and welcome to CANAS podcast, episode 36. Here with CELSO as per usual.
Yeah, I'm like the main guy here too, so.
Yeah. Well, we've had a couple, what was it? We've had 1 week where you were missing, and then like 2 where I was missing.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's
yeah.
true, yeah.
Yeah, the dream team. There you go. CELSO's actually been editing the podcast episodes the last
few episodes, yeah.
Like the last 5 or 6 at least. Yeah, so that's been fun. Thank you, CELSO.
I was editing, and then the last 2 I had to upload, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Well, there you go, that worked. So, yeah, let us know in the comments section how great CELSO's doing. So, yeah. This week, not much has happened, really. We got the Tour Championship. Corey Connors is made the top 30 in the PGA Tour, which has been fantastic.
Nice.
He's not doing very well in the last round, but not really. That's fine. We got some baseball to talk about. Not much basketball news. The NFL starts soon. That's really exciting. Fantasy drafts have all begun. There's some people who are forgetting of some injuries and retirements. So
yeah, we just had our draft on Friday, and yeah, like you were just saying, yeah, some of my friends picked some injured and some retired players. So
with the first overall pick, Aaron Hernandez. Anyways, and we'll finish off with some hockey. There's not really much big news. I think the biggest news revolves around an American player with a couple rumors of some Canadian teams. 2 different American players, actually, in Chychrun and in Patty Kane. Mm-hmm. So we'll talk about that a little bit here, I guess. And then we'll it's not the end of the off season, but we'll predict who else is going to make some moves. Because I still think that there's going to be 2 big trades happening still.
I can see that, yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so let's start really quickly with golf. So the PGA Tour, the FedEx Cup, the FedEx Championships, you know how it's changed recently, hey? It's like the point system, I guess, but you don't the last round. You don't go into it with the point system still. You actually go with it the points go all the way up to the final tournament, I guess, the final weekend tournament. And then your first place starts with a 10-stroke advantage. So your first place starts at -10, second through 5 or something starts at -8, and then all the way down to even par. So Scotty Scheffler, for example, who had the advantage, started the tournament at -10.
Interesting.
Right. So anyone can still win. It's just if you're in 30th, you need to have a godly year and shoot 10 strokes better than the first place player, which is doable. That's just 2.5 strokes around. So it's definitely doable.
It's just tough.
It's still tough.
Yeah.
So it still gives first place the advantage. Hey, you finished first all year. Congratulations. This is your competitive advantage, I guess, for the finals. Corey Connors started off 30th. So he just started even par, I think, for the tournament, or 28th or something, 1 under. One of the 2, barely had any advantage. His first round was not very good. Second and third was a little bit better, but he's 27th. He will still be racking in 6 figures for this tournament, even if he finishes dead last.
Yeah, that's still really good.
Yeah. So it's nice to see that Corey Connors is up there, and he's genuinely competing for a position, with the international team it's not the Ryder Cup, it's the President's Cup. Yeah, for the President's Cup.
Yeah, it's just nice to see before back in the day it was just Mike Weir and that's it for Canadian golfers, and now we have a couple golfers.
Yeah.
Connors and
Hadwin. Yeah, Hadwin, Svensson, whatever his name is, I think.
So it's just
3 of them made it to the second last tournament. That's huge.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of PGA golfers went to the Live Tour, Live Golf Tour. So you don't have the Dustin Johnsons, the Bryson DeChambeaus in there. So let's not sugarcoat it. It's less competitive in there, but still to make it that high, it's pretty impressive, honestly.
So it's just nice to see just Golf Canada, or whatever we call it here, has improved for Canadian golfers to actually compete in the PGA Tour and everything. So
yeah, and Canadian kids have somebody to look up to now.
Exactly,
more people. Not just Mike Weir, and again, nothing against Mike Weir. He won a major, so he's one of the most accomplished male golfers in Canada of all time already. Mm-hmm. But yeah, now we have multiple, so now there's support. It's not just Mike Weir anymore. It's a bunch of different guys. So that's nice to see. Yeah. I anticipate Corey Connors making the President's Cup team. He's one of the top 30 golfers in the world right now. Even if you include Live Tour, I still think he is one of the top 30 golfers in the world. He's just been cold the last couple months, unfortunately.
And everyone will have that. Everyone will be struggling during the year, but it's life.
Yep. All right, quickly baseball, maybe. Blue Jays just absolutely obliterated the Red Sox and then are getting obliterated by the Angels. Like, I just don't understand it. How are they, like, Angels are not a good team. They have two players.
Well, the one where we lost 12-0, I think, or so.
Yeah.
Kikuchi was pitching.
Oh, he was a starter?
Yeah. I think. I just know he was pitching. So
he came on for White, I think, because White got obliterated 5-0. And then Kikuchi played it. So they just gave up right away. And then Merriweather pitched the 9th. Yeah.
Merrifield?
Yeah.
You always say weather.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah, it's Merrifield, I think, yeah.
Yeah. Floyd Mayweather is what I was thinking of. Oh my God, Victor. Get your head. Okay. Merrifield.
It's just weird. Like, we're still hanging in there for a wild card spot, but...
Yeah, but they have a stretch of 12 games coming up against under 500 teams. Like, they have to
win this.
Just go. Actually, I think it's more than 12. I think it's like 5 series in a row that's like under 500, and they're like easier opponents. Like, the Cubs are there after. The Cubs are there next. Like, and they have to do well. Like, they have to. They'll make the playoffs. Once they get in there, they'll be able to compete. But their bullpen's much better than I thought it would be. Their bullpen's actually doing decent, and they have like 4 guys. Like, Zach Pop got sent down, right? Yeah. Zach Pop is like a 2.25 ERA or something like that. It's like not bad at all. Like,
and he got sent down?
Because they had to make room for Meza. Yeah. Mazda. I don't know, dude. Maybe he's got a good car deal. Also, did you see Jordan Romano's commercial? It's something about the closing, like Chick-fil-A? No. Mary Brown's? I don't know. He has one of the funniest commercials of all time. If you watch any Jays broadcast, you will see his commercial, and it's so funny, dude. He's such a bad actor, but he's a much better closer.
On like YouTube or something.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's so funny. We got to represent Canada, right? Yeah. Represent Canada. So, yeah. I think Kikuchi gets sent down. There's no way. Like, he either gets released, playoffs, just flat out released, or just sent down. And Pop comes back up. Because, like, yeah, you need lefties. 100% you need some lefties. But Kikuchi is not producing at all. He was given a chance of going into the bullpen. That's not helping still. They'll give him a little bit more chance, I think. Because, you know, he's an $11 million a year player. So, yes, you want to sign him. But that was... his numbers last year were indicative of him doing significantly better than he is this year, but he just cannot hit the strike zone this year. That's his problem. He can't at all. And when he does, it's like straight center of the plate, and it goes for a home run.
Yeah, it's just gone.
Yeah, just brutal. But yeah, so the Jays need to step up. They should still make the playoffs, I think, but it's getting tight.
They just have to bring it, especially in the playoffs.
Because there's 4 teams fighting for those 3 spots right now, right? You got the Rays, you got the Jays, you got the Orioles for whatever reason are fighting.
Which is very surprising, yeah.
Yeah, and the Jays have actually a season against the Orioles coming up soon, so like that has to be a big
major one. Yeah,
like they have to sweep it, or at least they have to win it. They can't tie it. Yeah, they can't tie it. They have to win it. But I hope the Jays will play the Red Sox again soon, and they have the Red Sox number all year.
Yep.
So like I'm looking forward to that series. Although their last 2 games against the Sox, this most recent series were close. They went to extra innings both.
Yep.
And they almost lost the last one if it wasn't for Jordan Romano with a huge strikeout.
Yes.
And then what's his face, Chapman, doing an unreal double play. Like, there's some really good defensive plays by Chapman that's showing why we got him, you know. Although the Biggios and the Bichettes are still putting up too many errors for my liking. But we'll see.
We'll see
how that goes. But again, like, there's no basketball news apart from the Raptors signed a kid to a 3-year deal. That's all I know. I think
his name is like Coloco.
Yeah.
Coloco.
Was he Canadian or no?
I don't think so.
Anyways, yeah, CELSO, you're looking up. Yeah,
I'll look it up.
Yeah, the Raptors just signed a guy. Like, and Durant is staying in Brooklyn.
It was Coloco. Nice.
Coloco, very nice.
I guessed it right.
It
was their selection, yeah.
Yeah.
In 2022.
Oh, very nice. Cool, yeah, so they signed the kid. I honestly, so, like, Durant staying obviously makes me happy that, like, the Raptors didn't give up Scotty Barnes and Siakam and like 3 other picks.
Which is good because everyone, like all like the elite players are saying how good Scotty Barnes is. And
I actually think Scotty Barnes will be an elite player in this league. Like, not Kawhi Leonard elite. Kawhi Leonard elite.
Not like LeBron James elite.
No. LeBron James, listen, I don't like how cocky he is sometimes and like all this and this, but he is top 2 all time. Between him and MJ, I'm like,
I agree.
Just the numbers are there. You know what I mean? Like, he's led how many different
You
teams
may not
and
like
everything.
him, but
Yeah.
you can't like disregard like all he's done in the NBA.
I think he's the most athletic basketball
yeah.
player of all time. I think the most talented basketball player of all time was MJ, though.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty fair way of putting that, hey?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and again, it's a conversation. It's a debate amongst basketball fans everywhere. That's fair. It's a fair debate. Like, they're 2 of the greatest of all time, you know. And you throw in Larry Bird there, who's one of the most influential basketball players of all time. You throw in Magic Johnson. You throw in, you know, some people can even put Kobe in the top 10 there, and Shaq. You know, like
some people are putting like Durant
Kareem
there,
Abdul-Jabbar as well.
People are saying like Durant is like definitely like top 10.
Durant's up there, man, but his attitude is just absolute garbage. He's like, no, I can't stay with his GM and this coach. Poor Steve Nash. Steve Nash was a better player than people
He's
give him
trying
credit
his
for.
best.
Yeah. Anyways,
And wasn't this year like his first year? Or
it was his first year playing. It was his second year. Remember, because he had his Achilles tear.
No, Nash.
Nash? Oh yeah, it was his first year.
Yeah, so like,
Yeah.
why make that comment?
I don't know. I think so. Like, Kyrie has to go though.
Yeah.
That's the biggest cancer in all of sports, pretty much. I wouldn't even say just basketball, like all sports. Him and Russell Westbrook are just terrible. Westbrook is leaving LA, 100%. They signed his like most hated rival, Patrick Beverley, so everybody knows Westbrook's days are numbered. So, anyways, that's
Which
not
is
a lot
weird,
of.
'cause he's still good.
The FIBA championships are on, hey?
Yeah. The
How did Canada
qualifiers?
do against Argentina? They would have just
we beat
played.
Argentina.
No way, we won.
Yeah, we
oh,
beat
that's
Argentina.
exciting. That's really cool. Yeah, so that's interesting. Canada, hopefully, knock on wood, obviously, but we should hopefully be making it to the World Cup of basketball soon. And we don't even have some of our best players. Like, Andrew Wiggins isn't there.
No. Yeah.
Who else? RJ Barrett isn't there. So, like, we have not necessarily our B squad, but we don't have our 2 best players there, which is really cool.
Yeah,
so
like-
how much did we beat Argentina?
We beat Argentina 99-87.
Wow. So that's
Yeah.
like not even that close then. I mean, it's still close.
No, still
12
close,
points in
but-
basketball is not much, but wow. That's really impressive.
Like I think they were roughly like 15, 17 points ahead, like with like a minute remaining too. So,
wow.
because I saw part of it, but yeah, it was pretty.
Yeah,
pretty
I
decent.
really wanted to watch that game. I had to go to the airport, but that's fine. What was I going to say? Yeah, so that's really cool too. So hopefully, like, knock on wood. But we also have Nick Nurse at the helm of that team, so that's been
Yeah, like if you have
absolutely
good
fantastic.
coaching, you can bring up any like team and make them better, kind of thing. So
Yeah, absolutely.
especially in basketball, where you can just make up plays and to like the strength of the team, and then using that, you may have like a good chance on beating anybody. Really,
For the Raptors championship win, I think Nick Nurse had as big of an impact as Kawhi Leonard.
what do you mean?
Like, Nick Nurse's coaching ability was as big of an influence on the Raptors winning the championship
no, definitely.
than Kawhi Leonard's playing ability. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green were 2 big, and Marc Gasol. There were 3 big pieces that came in here. I don't think we win without them. But we also don't win without Nick Nurse.
No,
Like, there's no way. Like, his defensive, that team was so good defensively, and we didn't have necessarily stars, man. Like, most teams win with 3 superstars that it takes. We had 1
we had one. Yeah, we
Yeah.
had one superstar and like a couple stars.
playing out of their minds, but like that's
Yeah.
what a coach does. A coach gets the best out of their players.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. So yeah, moving on from basketball. We talked about football a little bit already, just that the season's starting up. That our
Season's
fantasy
starting up,
teams
yeah.
are looking good so far.
Mine is.
Yeah.
But last year, my team was like really good as well, and then they just crapped the bed. So
You should. I honestly, like, knock on wood. Obviously, like,
Yeah.
Your team this year is much better than your team last year.
oh, definitely.
You have 1 Canadian on there, Chuba Hubbard.
Chuba Hubbard,
Yes.
local boy.
Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
So, Yeah, I'm not. I told you this off air too. Like, I am not joining. I'm not commissioning a league anymore, man. Like, after my insane stuff from last year made me very angry, and I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, you can definitely join ours.
Yeah. So if anybody out there also has a league that they want to be their commissioners of, want us to join, like, let me know, because I'm not doing it again. But I'll gladly be a part of them. They're fun.
Yeah, definitely.
They're such a good time, dude. Anyways,
I don't think I'll be able to like handle like more than like three teams though for a league.
yeah. Well, see, I've once handled 8 at once.
8?
Yeah, 2 of them were for money, so those were my main
Your
focuses.
main focuses, yeah.
2 of them I let auto draft because I wanted to see like where I would do it, and they were just like random Yahoo leagues, honestly.
Yeah.
2 of them were with some friends just to have a good time, and 2 others were keepers. So I focus on the 2 monies and the 2 keeper leagues.
Yeah.
And sometimes I get confused, right? Because of like one league, I'm like, okay, I'll trade you this guy and this guy and this guy. I'm like, you don't have this guy.
Oh, so you...
Oh, damn, that's right.
It's not another league.
Shoot.
Oh, that's...
Okay, I'll trade you this and this. Yeah. So,
my friends, when we what we do for hockey at least, we have a salary cap league, or it's all of our picks and drafts are from like typing it in Messenger, and my friend has like this spreadsheet that will like keep track of like all like the players and like the salary cap or the salary that they have. We use AAV, so we use the AAV of the players, and then his spreadsheet kind of like calculates the their contract with how much money we have, and then we just do that. And it's funny because we usually do like for our picks, because we do it through Messenger, we just put gifs of the of the players that we pick. We sometimes have to guess. We usually say it after the gift that we post, the player that we want, but it's pretty fun.
yeah.
And then that one is for money that we do, the salary cap one, and then we do just a random Yahoo one because it's fantasy hockey or fantasy football is fun.
It's fun, man.
And then this year for the fantasy football, we have our first play, because we didn't do for money. Actually, no, we did do for money, but this year, first place, and it's only gonna be first place that's gonna get like a prize.
Yeah.
First place is a team jersey of their choice. So like, let's say the Chargers, they will have, the number will be the year that they won. So in this case, it'll be, I guess, 2022 or 2023. And then I don't know if we're either going to put our last name or our team name, which probably not. This is not going to happen for most of our
Team names?
teams. Yeah, because they're pretty bad.
Yeah.
but that's first prize, and it's gonna be really fun.
That's sick. That's so cool. Yeah, that's awesome. The leagues are starting up again. There should only be probably one Canadian drafted. Chase Claypool or Hubbard.
Drafted?
In the fantasy draft.
Oh, and like in general? Yeah. They're probably just 2, just Claypool and Hubbard.
If Hubbard even gets drafted, some leagues, if they're really deep, both of them will get drafted 100%. But if it's like a 6-team league,
then
no, definitely not.
Definitely
Neither of them will probably get drafted, to be honest with you. Although Pittsburgh's going to be decent, hey? Pittsburgh's like that quarterback room right now is looking... Trubisky, I think, won the first week start. But their rookie, Pritchett, whatever it is, he's looking good. He's looking really good. So
we'll just see, yeah.
He backs up for the first like 2 or 3 weeks. As long as Mason Rudolph is not throwing the football in Pittsburgh, they're fine.
Then they're fine, yeah.
Yeah, he's a horrific quarterback, dude. I do not know how he's in the NFL. Like, he just can't. Like, I just don't get it. He's not. I don't know. He's still an unbelievable talent, an unbelievable player.
He's in the NFL,
and he'll probably be the best quarterback in the CFL by far.
Yeah.
But he's just not an NFL quarterback right now. It's like Robert Griffin III is a better quarterback. And he's in Baltimore still, right? Backing up Lamar? I think so.
Probably.
Because that makes sense. Like, they had similar playing styles, right?
Yeah.
But prior to the ACL, MCL, LCL, entire knee reconstruction.
Yeah, but Jackson is obviously the better one.
Yeah. It's not close.
Like, even in his prime, I guess. I don't know if I should say in his prime because he's not that old, but he was a lot better at doing what he does, like running the ball.
Yeah.
Jackson than Griffin. So, we'll see.
Yeah. All right, so moving on to hockey. I think we talked about every other sport here. So,
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, no, sorry, tennis. U.S. Open starts soon.
Yes.
Tennis next Monday, I want to say. The U.S. Open is starting.
This is one of my last chances for my bold prediction to...
Yeah, it's not happening, dude. It's not going to happen. Like, Felix would play Medvedev in the quarterfinals, and Shapo would play Nadal in the round of 16. So, not happening. Djokovic isn't playing this tournament because he's not vaccinated. So, I'm very happy he's not able to play in these tournaments. Because I don't want him to win the Grand Slam, be the top Grand Slam winner of all time. I'd rather Nadal. I think Nadal has somewhat of a chance. He's just so injured recently, dude. The fact that he won the French, how he was, just dumbfounding. Absolutely shocking.
That's athletes for you. They'll just push through anything.
But Nadal is superhuman, dude. Nadal has to be one of the greatest athletes of all time, not just tennis player. Like, just a freaking freak of nature, that guy. Anyways, he's not Canadian, so. Layla and Bianca are also in. Eugenie Bouchard is playing through the qualifiers right now. She won their first one. I haven't seen anything in regards to any rounds after. But she's completely fallen off a cliff too, hey? It's not even close. And then, like, even I'd say Bianca and Layla, they've both reached a super high pinnacle, and Bianca can't get anywhere near back. I don't know what it is, man. Like, they have the talent. Bianca's the most talented of all of them. Nothing against Layla, but Bianca's the most talented one. But they just, I don't know. Is it all mental? Like, did they peak too soon?
I'm guessing it's mental. I'm guessing, like, it just, my opinion, it probably just got into their heads that they were doing, like, really, really well, and then they can basically do whatever, and then
like, the parity in the world of tennis right now is ridiculous. Like, literally anybody in the top 20 in the women's side can can beat anyone.
Yeah.
And the men's not as much. Like, you have the top 3 of all, like, for sure. Like, Medvedev is just playing ungodly right now. Nadal finds a way of beating everyone somehow. Although he hasn't had really good tournaments the last couple tournaments, he's lost to some really low ranked players, but he usually plays his best in the bigger tournaments anyways,
yeah.
And then Djokovic. But thank God Djokovic isn't there, so that's nice. But, so, like, we'll be talking about the U.S. Open pretty soon here. I think maybe one Canadian makes it to the quarters, just with how they're doing. And anyways.
And that's it. That's how far they'll go.
There's an F1 race this week, isn't there?
It just finished, like, not too long ago, too. It was the Belgian Grand Prix.
Right.
Since we're a Canadian podcast, I'll just talk about the Canadians, because obviously, not surprisingly, Max Verstappen won.
And he wasn't even anywhere in the top 10 at the beginning, was he? His pole was...
No, he was first.
Oh, okay, so never mind.
So it wasn't really surprising. If he's first, he's going to win.
Yeah.
But Lance Stroll, who started 14th, finished at 11th, so
okay,
he moved up a little bit.
Very nice.
And then, not surprisingly, Latifi is last.
Oh.
Well...
Second last.
Third last.
Well,
technically, because Hamilton, like, something happened to his car in the first lap that he just had to stop, obviously, and then Bottas didn't finish either. So, technically, out of people racing, Latifi was last.
Unfortunate,
yeah. And it sounds like Latifi may be losing his seat.
Probably. He's not put up any good results this year.
And then Lance Stroll, like, we'll just see, I guess. Like, he's good.
His dad owns the team. He's not losing his spot.
No. And he's good, but, like, yeah, like you said, his dad owns the team, so it's like, he's still gonna be there. Even as driver 2, he's still gonna be there. Oh, speaking of Formula 1 and not really, like, anything to do with actual, like, sports, I did get Formula 1 Manager 2022, and I'm pretty excited to try it out, because I'm gonna probably, like,
that's pretty
suck, but it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm wanting to get more into F1 for sure. It looks like so much fun, dude.
You should try that. Just get and just manage a team.
Hell yeah,
it'll be pretty fun. Like, I haven't played any of, like, the manager kind of games, like Football Manager or whatever. Like, I play the GM mode or franchise mode in Chell, but it's not, like, as in depth as, like, Football Manager. But I did download that too. Like, I'm not as big of a soccer fan as, like, you or Daniel or Ricardo, but it'll be fun.
I have more time on my hands. I'm gonna get into those now.
The manager kind of games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good call.
It's fun because you get to manage a team, and if you do well, then you'll see your team just win.
And then pull a Bob Stauffer and submit that as your application to become the GM of a team. What an idiot.
Didn't someone do that in
Bob
soccer?
Stauffer.
No. Like in actual soccer. Like
and he's managing like a 5th division team in England or something.
But that's awesome though.
Oh, it's nuts, I know. But the guy's like he's got the world record for like he has the best score of all time in Football Manager. And then he's like, listen, this is what I do online. I've won 9,000 trophies. Let me help you win one. And he's like he's a manager of a Division 5 team in England or something stupid like that. Or like a Division 3 team in Belgium or whatever it is. But
like,
it's nuts.
Just to be like, here's my resume, Football Manager. and then he's just managing a team.
I mean, I know it's all computer generated, but like most of the time you are playing against other people. And you have to, like, there is some strategy involved. If you're, like, and honestly, if you're consistently finishing first in every one of your fantasy leagues, you know the sport. You know enough about it. You know what I mean? Not enough to, like, draft and scout and all that kind of stuff and know the intricacies of, like, the small.
Yeah.
Oh, intricacies. That's a big word. That's a big word.
Big word, Victor. We're going to add that to the list of big words by Victor.
Oh, wow. Cool. I'm proud of myself on that one.
And speaking of scouting, shout out to Liam from like the Oilers Nation guys. He, as you probably know, and I probably told you too, that he's a head scout for the Sherwood Park Crusaders. I think that's what they're called. I wanted to start doing that, like going to like WHL games, or he told me to try doing AJHL games, and kind of want to start doing that, and then putting myself out there, because if I can't be, because I was looking at the programs for U of A for sports management, because it's basically like I guess the starting, like a stepping stone to becoming a GM or whatever, and it says that you need experience and all that stuff besides like sending in a letter, because it is a competitive program, so might as well start from nowhere and just doing little scouting reports and then putting myself out there and see what happens, because that's basically what Liam did, and now he's just a head scout for those guys in Sherwood Park. So that's
sweet. That's really cool. Yeah, that'd be fun. Dan Tenser, do you remember listening to him on 630 Chat? He's the head scout for the Saskatoon Blades, from my understanding.
That's cool.
Yeah. So little by little, getting into something like that would be
just something cool. Like that, just getting into like the sport that you love. Like for me, it's hockey, and just doing that. And
we'll go to some WHL games this year, and some like Spruce Grove Saints or Sherwood Park Crusader games. Yeah, we'll have to do that.
It'll be fun. Like
or Okotoks Oilers. Drive all the way down to Okotoks.
We're not going to go all the way to Okotoks.
But so I guess that's actually a really good segue too, because like something about the NHL that I really want to talk to you about. This is supposed to be the deepest draft we've seen in a very long time. Like the draft, the 2023 first round picks are gold this year. Like no one is getting rid of them, if you notice that. So like started looking into it a little bit, like why? Like what's the issue? We have 2 generational players, one for sure in Connor Bedard.
Oh, definitely.
And then you have that Russian kid who's supposed to be like unbelievable as well. And then
it's just going to be tough for people to want to draft him because he's Russian with everything that's happening in Russia.
Well, not just that, like he's signed and committed to the KHL for another 4 years.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a tough one. But you're still...
I guess like if you're like a team that's already like pretty decent right now and just can wait those 4 years.
Right, but truthfully, he's going second overall. Like, there's no way. He's not going. Maybe he slides down to third just because if somebody outplays and plays up.
Top 5, but
like, yeah, there's like, and top 5 pick, there's no team that's ready now unless they find a way of trading for like Arizona's first round pick or something like.
But then it'll just be probably first, and it'll be Connor Bedard. So.
Yeah, Montreal will probably be up there for the picks though. They'll. Could you imagine Connor Bedard playing? Oh my God! In
Chicago
Montreal,
too, will probably up there.
It's going to be Montreal, Chicago, and Arizona are the first 3 picks. They're the worst 3 teams in the league. It's not even close. And we usually include Ottawa in that conversation.
Usually,
but they're significantly better, and they're actually also in the Jacob Chychrun sweepstakes.
Really?
Because they need to improve their defense.
They do,
Their
yes.
defense is definitely their weakest position, like by far. Their goaltending is honestly,
improved,
well, I wouldn't say it's elite. I think it's very solid. I think they've had 2 genuine starters on in their crease.
Yeah. Cam Talbot, who's been very solid throughout his years as a starter.
Yeah.
And Anton Forsberg, who has been playing, comparing his team to like other teams, putting that into consideration, has been playing amazing.
Yeah.
So
Ottawa's in the Chychrun sweepstakes. Toronto supposedly in the sweepstakes, but Toronto's in every sweepstakes.
Yeah.
They're also in the Patrick Kane sweepstakes. But did you actually hear an interview of him?
Was it actually like real, or because I think I saw that tweet too, but I don't know if it's real.
There was like 4 different sources that I saw post it.
I just saw.
So disclaimer: we're gonna keep on checking to make sure this is actually real or not. But in a radio interview, he supposedly said that if he gets traded, he wants to go to a competitive team that can consistently make deep playoff runs and not just lose in the first round every single year.
So if that quote is real, that's such a big dig to Toronto.
That's like no, that's not. How is Toronto gonna make the cap situation work? Willie Nylander will have to go the other way, 100%, no question.
Yeah.
But even then, and Chicago would have to retain half his salary. But even then, next year, Patty Kane is going to sign an $8 million a year contract. Patty Kane is still a top 5 player in the NHL when he wants to be. Definitely top 10. Definitely
top 10.
Sorry, top 5 forward. Okay, let's change that a little bit. Yes. Okay, because Kayla McCarr is better than Patty Kane is right now.
Yeah.
Kayla McCarr is a god, dude.
Yep.
Kayla McCarr is the second best player in the entire NHL.
Yep. I'm thinking for like fantasy wise, it's gonna be McDavid and it has to be McCarr. If you don't pick up McCarr, your defense is not gonna be good in fantasy.
But okay, so I guess I'll ask you this: do you think Connor McDavid should be the undisputed number 1?
Yeah.
Second overall, because defensemen and forwards, really the points are the difference. Unless you really take into account block shots a lot, and if it's a lot of shot blocking, then Kale McCarr will probably be out there. But Kale McCarr doesn't block that many shots a game, right?
But it's if you want to, if you have really good scoring forwards, then you'll just be fine. But if you want to round out your team and your fantasy team, McCarr is gonna. It's basically McCarr, Yossi, and Hedman are going to get you the points.
Oh, yeah, by far the 3 best defenders.
So if you're
defensemen in the league, yeah. Adam Fox, actually, too.
Adam Fox, too, yeah. But those 3 for sure.
So I guess my question to you then is, who puts up more fantasy points? Austin Matthews or Kale McCarr? Because take into account goals usually count for twice as many as assists.
Usually, yeah.
Shots on goal as well count for a good amount sometimes. Usually it's a half a point for shot.
That's the thing though, everyone's gonna pick the forwards, but once a defenseman goes, then everyone's just gonna start picking defensemen.
For me, Kale McCarr, top 5 fantasy pick. Because I think it goes Connor McDavid, Austin Matthews, Leon Draisaitl, Nathan McKinnon. I think that's the top 4. I think Kale McCarr goes right after Nathan McKinnon. Because, Kucherov's always injured. McKinnon's even always injured, though. I wouldn't even trust McKinnon that much. But, Patty Kane's another one. Kale McCarr puts up goals and assists and shots on goal and block shots. So, that's why I think he would be a top 5 fantasy pick. Maybe, actually, that's what we can do. One of our future episodes, we put up our fantasy projections, our Canadian fantasy projections. Fantasy players, tier list. We can do that.
We can do that.
Yeah, okay, we'll do it. That'll be sick. Good. Because forwards have more value. And then goalies, your first overall goalie is obviously Vasilevsky.
Yeah.
Best goalie in the best team, right?
Yeah.
And then Shesterkin will probably be very close second. You see Saros. I actually did not think he was going to be that good. I thought he was going to be a good starter. I did not think he was going to be elite goalie like he is right now. The guy's 4 foot nothing.
You just never see it because of the team he plays on.
Nashville is a really good drafting team,
but it's
they can draft goalies, man.
But you have the major franchise, the popular franchises in the Rangers and the Lightning, And no one really like takes a look at like Nashville really as having like really good goalies or like everyone says UOC is like carrying the team on his back kind of thing, but you can also say Saros is helping out as well.
Yossi and Saros are the two best players on that team. It's not even close. I mean, you have Philip Forsberg, maybe. He's their third, he's their best forward, but he's a winger, man. Wingers don't do as much as centers. That's like the issue. In the decade of darkness for the Oilers, we had good wingers. We had horrific centers for a while. And like Nuge comes in, he's put in a position where, first overall pick, you're going to be the generational first-line center. I'm like, I'm sorry. Nuge is a second-line center in this league, not a first-line. He never was a first-line center.
Love the guy, but yeah, you're right.
And listen, second-line center is still an elite forward.
Yep.
He's still amongst the top 30 to 35. Like, he's a top, for me, in the league right now, he's a top 35 center in the league. Yep. For sure.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. So, that'll be interesting. We'll do a fantasy preview there. But, who do you think is going to be, like, do you think there's going to be a lot more moves by Canadian teams this offseason?
This offseason?
Who do you think will make it?
Like for Canadian teams, I don't know, because both Toronto and Edmonton are kind of cutting it close with their cap space.
They're both over, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
and I'm not talking about like Edmonton still needs to sign McLeod and trade away a player for cap. I don't think that's a move that's going to happen. So yeah, I guess Edmonton's going to still make a move or two. But I'm saying like a big move. Like I'm talking Edmonton, for example, a Jesse Puljujärvi trade or a Tyson Barrie or Warren Foegele trade. Yeah, it's going to be for cap, but they're going to get somebody big for that. Or a Toronto Willie Nylander trade. Or a big signing. But they can't afford it. But like, so I guess I can start like, I think there's going to be some more moves. Calgary said that they're not done. I think they are. I genuinely think really they are. They can get. I think they're going to look at another top 6 winger, but apart from that, I don't see them making another big move. I don't. They just can't afford it because next year a lot of.
Do you think Winnipeg will?
So I'm thinking Winnipeg realizes that they're in a position where they can sell off all their players for incredible assets, get Connor Bedard, and then be competitive really quick again. Because they're the team with probably the most pieces that they can get first round picks for.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Right? Like Scheifele will get you a first round pick next year. Wheeler will get you a first round pick next year. Hellebuck will get you a first round pick next year and the year after that. Right? Like just sell those 3 guys and you have 3 picks. Likely one of them will be in the top 20.
No, that's going to be Hellebuck. That's going to give you the top, like the higher pick.
But here's the issue, right? Like all the teams that are going to be buying are going to be playoff teams. You're not going to have a non-playoff team going for them, right?
For a goalie.
Unless, like, if you trade now, you find a way of getting lucky and like, let's say Montreal gets a Scheifele, and then, like, Scheifele gets injured all year, and they finish last, and Connor Bedard's first overall. Like, they'll be top 5 protected each one of those picks. But I just think Winnipeg can do bad enough that their own pick would be first overall, and then you get like 3 supporting players in the mid to late first round pick or in the first round of next year, and that's going to be just unreal. So I think genuinely, if I were the GM in Winnipeg, I'd sell off some players because you need assets. This is a Connor Bedard year.
Like everyone's just unhappy, so.
It's Connor Bedard. You do everything you possibly can do to get Connor Bedard on your team. I'm not saying like actively tank. I'm saying build for the future. So I'm like, I still be somewhat competitive, have good games. You don't have to win every single game though.
Yeah.
And because like we've seen in the past, like 21st place team has gone up all the way to second overall before first overall. You know what I mean? Like it's possible, but. Winnipeg, I think, makes trades, and I think Ottawa. I genuinely still think Ottawa's good. Like they're going to sign a defense.
Too, don't they?
They do. They have some. I don't think they have a ton because they're going to be getting their Kachuk and Shabbat are now their contracts are in there. Like they're getting paid a lot of money, both of them. Then you also have like the most recent signing as well, Zach Norris.
Yeah.
Zach Norris.
I think so.
Norris is is there. So
Giroux too.
Yeah, but he's not getting paid that much money. What's it, $6 million? I think.
That's still pretty decent. Though.
Yeah, but it's not like the 10 million that Kachuk is getting or the 8 million that Shabbat's getting. Like, I don't even think Kachuk is 10 though, to be honest with you. But anyways, I think the only team that's like not gonna make more moves, Montreal, just because they have no cap at all. They might like take on a contract because Carey Price will be on LTIR, and they might take on a contract for cap space or for a pick. I mean, sorry. Toronto's gonna make a minor move. I think. I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal that they're gonna do. Edmonton needs to make 2 trades, just to be cap compliant for next year, and to get McLeod back on this roster because we're a better team with Ryan McLeod than without. Calgary, I think, gets another top 6 winger. I think Vancouver stays pat. So I guess I'm being pretty ambitious and saying that there's going to be 4 more big moves by Canadian teams at least. But I don't think they're done. Like it's preseason is probably when we're going to see a bunch of this stuff happen. Patty Kane is not.
Preseason is just around the corner too.
Yeah, and Patty Kane is not a Chicago Blackhawk heading into 2023.
You think he's going to get traded right away?
I think he gets traded before Christmas. Yes.
That's not before the season, though. No,
I said before 2023.
Oh, before 2023. Okay.
He gets traded before Christmas, 100%. Because think about it 2 ways. A, he's not re-signing in Chicago. There's no way. His value gets monumentally smaller every given day into the season. Like, he can fetch you a first-round elite prospect and a secondary prospect and a second-round pick right now. He can get you all that. But at the trade deadline, he gets you a first-round pick and a minor prospect, if that. And it's not a 2023 first-round pick. It's a 2024. Because you're only going to get him for half a season. It's literal rental just for the playoffs.
Yeah.
And he gets to pick where he goes. He gets to pick, okay, there's 2 teams that are competitive. Between these 2, we got to fight. So if Chicago's smart, they get rid of him now. Actually, they should also try to get rid of Jonathan Toews, because that is another expiring contract. But Jonathan Toews is still an elite 2-way forward. He's not going to give you 90 to 100 points, but he's going to give you 70 solid points while playing some of the best defensive hockey out there. Then again, a $10.5 million cap hit is going to be a lot. Very difficult for any competitive team to take. So at that point, I think Montreal comes in. He gets traded to Montreal first, and Montreal takes half his salary and then half his salary. So like any team that gets him will only take a quarter of the salary. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So, yeah, those 2 guys are not going to be Chicago Blackhawks for much longer. And if Chicago's smart, the sooner the better. But I think it has to be in season because that's when all the LTIR moves are going to happen.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because right now it's like...
Yeah. No, like no one can afford them. Yeah. But, yeah. Anyways. That's it for me.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I think we touched on everything.
Yeah. We're going to do this. The Ben Stelter Performer of the Week. Oh, man. See, I don't know, man. It's been a quiet week, honestly, this week. Not too much going on. My Ben Stelter Performer of the Week. You know what? I'm going to go with Jordan Romano from the Blue Jays. Just the way he was able to clutch up that win against the Red Sox. Pitched 2 innings in the game. As a closer, you only usually pitch 1. He pitched 2. Mm-hmm. He came in with the bases loaded, bottom of the 9th, 0 out at a 5-5 game. He came out of there without losing the game. And also, the Blue Jays got a run in the top of the 10th, and he pitched out the 10th with no issues. So that's for me, Jordan Romano. If the Blue Jays are going to be competitive, Jordan Romano needs to be one of the best closers in the league, or in the MLB.
In the MLB, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So, not only on a Canadian team, but a Canadian player. Solid.
Good choice.
Thank you.
Mine is going to be a team, and it's going to be Canada Team Canada for beating Argentina.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. Good call.
Because they're ranked 18th, I believe, beating 7th ranked Argentina.
Yeah.
And everyone just basically came together and just worked hard to beat Argentina. So
cool.
I'll say that. I'll say Canada.
I like that. Cool. Well, those are the Ben Stelter Performers of the Week. And I think that's everything for us this week. So thank you everybody for listening to the podcast this week. It was a little different than usual. We went off topic a little bit on a few different things, but it's fun. We do this for fun. We don't do this because we're taking it serious or anything. So thank you everybody for listening, and we'll see you next week.
See you later.